Hi, I'm Katya, and I'm a global studies student at the University of Auckland, majoring in sustainable development and the global environment. Tourism is marketed as this blanket solution that can solve inequality and poverty and also preserve culture. However, this can also have devastating impacts on local communities and the environment. Being originally from Thailand, I've heard and also seen the impacts of tourism on the Moken, an indigenous group of sea nomads in southern Thailand. The Moken, who have the lowest ecological footprint on this planet, rely on fishing, hunting and gathering, and living by the ocean. However, in 2004, the Boxing Day tsunami hit Thailand, and many communities, such as the Moken, were forced to adopt a new way of living. They were in shelters when tourism developers came in and took their land, and the government sold Moken customary land to private tourism developers to create these picture-perfect postcard destinations for beach tourism. We can all admit that we love beaches and we love these tourist destinations, but at what cost? Through beach tourism, locals and the Moken lost access to fishing grounds and the beach. Their children grew up without having this connection passed down through generations towards the ocean. This proves that tourism must consult and empower locals and people, or else the environment and culture will suffer. We no longer can book a trip to Bali in a week in advance and be blind to all the effects that we have on the environment and cultures. We also have a chance to improve our decision-making process and be more ethical and responsible when traveling. Most ecotourism destinations, accommodations, and activities focus exclusively on being environmentally friendly, often using greenwashing to sustain their picture-perfect 100% green image. Rather than addressing the interwoven nature of society and the natural world in these countries, many places claim that they are sustainable, even though land was stolen from locals and exploited for touristic use.
I am Wam, and I am currently a student at the University of Auckland studying a Bachelor of Global Studies, majoring in Sustainable Development and Global Environment, as well as Spanish and a certificate in French. The Ethigo website will educate, promote, and facilitate ethical travelling. Ethigo intends to display localities from all around the world, each listing of accommodation, sightseeing, local market products and activity which will respect the tangata whenua, wherever and whoever that might be. Users can filter results according to the skills and interests in languages and activities which will contribute to active participation during the experience. They can also tailor their results further by selecting which aspect of conscious consumption they deem most sensitive, such as their carbon footprint, treatment of animals, or something more specific like palm oil.
Through Ethigo, we want to incorporate Kaiatia Kitanga, a Maori concept of guardianship and protection over the natural world. This is also extending it to overseas, not just our land here in New Zealand.
During the recovery of the global tourism industry, our travel choices will define who gets to put food on the table. Cheaper, all-inclusive travel deals siphon money from developing countries. Ethigo will facilitate extra income to local families through the redirection of ethical travellers. Ethigo has a three-step process. First, we source eco-friendly accommodation providers who meet the Ethigo certification. They must be community-owned and operated and use sustainable practices. Second, we fund community-led projects to improve infrastructure. And thirdly, we redirect ethical travellers to these producers through our user-friendly and educational website. Ethical tourism isn't new. It's merely the overseas expansion of your usual ethical choices. Ethigo, the right way to go.